All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Aussies taking over the NBA. We are getting very close to All-Star Week.
Yes.
Some big exciting news. Our first ever NBA All-Star has been named.
First ever? Yeah,
Yes.
nice one. Ben Simmons, eh?
That would be Benjamin Simmons. And Jonah Bolden getting named to the Rising Stars World Team as well, which is pretty
good.
sweet.
It's a shame. I wonder, have we got any other Aussies that kind of could have made that team? Maybe Thon Maker's probably the only one, really.
Probably Thon Maker's the only one that's got any substantial game time, but I think Jonah Bolden's probably the only one outside of Patty Mills and Delhi that's been getting regular minutes and making impacts.
You wouldn't say they were rising stars, though, really, would you?
No, I'd say they were like maybe fading stars,
Stable stars.
Veterans, stable stars. They're so. And my internet is really slow.
Yeah, and then I guess we'll talk about the AD trade, and then Kristaps Porzingis. That's another big trade that's opened some doors for Ryan Broekhoff.
That was just hilarious. The Knicks just like, you talk trash, bye. I was like, okay.
There was a lot of people sort of saying that, like it was all set up through the Knicks organization to clear the decks
To sign Kyrie and AD. That's what they're hoping.
Either AD or KD in the next year. But the big thing was that like clearing your franchise player, that's like a bit weird at the same time.
Yeah.
Like trying to make it out that Kristaps Porzingis was the one that really wanted out. So I wonder, it'll be interesting to see over the next, because he's probably, I think, about a month away from coming back still.
Yeah.
So the wash up of that obviously will be interesting. I mean, we'll go through that when we go through the Mavs and the New York Knicks.
It's just kind of weird that the guy went, hey, I'm not quite happy with this whole tanking thing. I understand it. And they're just like, yeah, see you later. You're just not with the program. See you later.
Doesn't really make sense, does it?
No, but I like it. I like the fact that he's gone to a winning team. I mean, you have to say Luka Doncic will have an MVP in his career. There's just the crystal ball is there. With most of the big names getting into their late 20s, there's an MVP somewhere in Luka Doncic's career.
Yeah, for sure.
And that teaming up with Kristaps and getting rid of DeAndre, which wasn't really a nice fit, and you called it. You called it. It's like they're not going to him.
Yeah, it's weird.
They're not going to him.
Didn't do anything, and he looked like he didn't give a shit either. It was kind of weird as well. I don't know whether that was in his psyche of what was happening around the franchise, whether he's being shopped or anything like that. But it just didn't work. I think some doors got opened up as well with Wes Matthews leaving and Dennis Smith Jr.
Well, I knew that rumor had been in the mill for a long time, that he actually wanted to go to the Knicks and that they were going to...
from New York.
So Tim Hardaway, obviously with a direct kind of swap there, made sense with Luka being a much better point guard and really running things and building the team around him, and now Kristaps as well.
Yeah, so I would just wonder how good Kristaps is going to be coming back. Maybe that's the other...
Could be like the Gordon Hayward, man. Just turd.
There's three angles to this where the Knicks are clearing the decks and they kind of made up the Kristaps thing. He didn't want to be here, get rid of him type of thing. The other one obviously being Kristaps. You don't know how good he's going to be. Like it's kind of maybe an up in the air asset, but if he comes back at any kind of
what he was like before he left,
then he's going to be the perfect fit, I think, for Luka Doncic and the rest of this team. But yeah, like we said, the good thing, it opens up some space for Ryan Broekhoff, and he has got a few minutes too, which has been good.
And he's taken them by the reins and shooting some good three ball, which is very nice to see. The other kind of interesting trade and talk is the Thon Maker talk. I know this is kind of tightly under wraps at the moment. But I believe there is a kind of thought now that he's found his destination. It's just a question of whether they're going to pull the trigger now before the trade deadline, I think the 8th of Feb, or they wait till the end of the year, and he probably won't play again if that's the case.
I don't know if he's made the right move.
I think he's got a... maybe he had a bit of a falling out with the coach or something. I just think after he thinks, if I'm Thon Maker in his psyche, I've just won you guys a game. Everyone's told you how awesome I was in this game. And then I got benched the next day. Coach's decision, did not play. So it's like...
I don't know if he's gone off too early, I guess. part of developing as a player is playing a lot of games, and it goes beyond just playing the game. Like it goes into contract image, selling yourself as a product in the NBA. And look, like good luck to him is all I'm going to say. I'm not sure.
I hope he lands. He'll probably land at the Cavs.
Well, it could be the Cavs or maybe Atlanta or
teams that are just looking to buy out space and stack a bit of young talent so they have some trade destinations. That's what Jordan Clarkson's gone. Was it Rodney Hood? I think it was Jordan Clarkson's gone to the Trailblazers in exchange for Nick Stauskas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, that was today that happened. And 2 second-round picks. So the Cavs have now got 7 second-round picks in the next draft. So you know what they're doing. They're actively tanking. I wouldn't be surprised if they shop Kevin Love in some time in the next little bit and just completely
just destroy that team.
Destroy that team. And I mean, it kind of needed to be done, but it didn't need to be done in the same time.
Well, look, it needed to be. That was what they're doing. Like, guys, this is what we're doing. We're going to do it. Suck it up. You're going to have to cop it, because to go from those heady heights of making the finals 4 years in a row to now we're tanking basically within probably 4 months after that finals. That's pretty hard to take as a Cleveland fan, especially only winning 1 ring in that time. What else? Any other news? Mitch Creek played his first game, which was pretty good.
That's pretty good. Played well. Had a good plus minus, defended well. Definitely a weirdly effective defender for his size.
Yeah.
I suppose that's some of the NBL traits rubbing off. Having to defend guys that are a little bit bigger, playing power forward in the NBL most of his minutes at 6'6", which is quite small. So you got to be crafty in your defense. That's good to see. He's taken that 15 spot. I don't know. I think his 10-day contract is up next week.
He re-signed another 10-day.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was today. Yeah, he re-signed another 10 days, so he's got another shot. Look, I'm not sure if there's any spot on that roster, really. I think they've got one open spot.
Yeah, they got one open spot for injury cover. So that's what it's for. And if he goes, this is the last 10 day before they have to convert into a contract. But again, Brooklyn are now going for a playoff run, so they may go into the buyout option, which is after fair bait, which is all the way through to the end of the year. So if they want to buy out a big man like DeAndre Jordan, or if they want to buy out Wes Matthews or something like that, then potentially they can. And then they'll send Mitch back to the G League if that is the case.
Yeah, well, they've got 5 injuries. So they got Dudley's injured, Alan Crabb's injured, Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Zenon Musa. And Rodion Karuk's been playing really well. We were talking about him at the start of the season in our preseason preview, which was good to see. Because of so many injuries, I'm not sure if he fits there. And they've got two-ways, Alan Williams and Theo Pinson. I'm not sure if he's going to fit, really. It might just not quite work out for him. But at the same time, it was good to see him get a little bit of a run out there for
I think
legitimate
he gets $135,000 for 10 days.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
good
that's the minimum.
If you can get it.
Yeah, he's got it. That's it. The 10-day contract's $135,000.
And, of course, he's also signed for Melbourne Phoenix at the same time.
Yeah,
but he's got
I think
an
he's
NBA
got
out
taste.
clause.
He's got the taste of the NBA.
I don't know if he's going to be able to break that contract with the Phoenix if he doesn't get an NBA contract.
No, he's not. That's the NBA out clause. But, I mean, he may get bought out halfway through. You don't know.
Yeah, but
he may sign with another team.
It would suck having to come back down here, though, and then go back. You would really hope that a team is going to sign him.
I think he'll play Summer League and see if he can't get picked up. But I think, obviously there's talk about the league, about what he's about, and that's why he's got the chance. I mean, there's tons of other talent in the G League, and somehow he managed to get up there. So,
well, I think mainly because of so many injuries in that
team. Yeah, but I mean,
really.
There's tons of talent in the Brooklyn Nets. They're coming first in their conference.
The division, yeah.
Yeah, so that's, there's obviously other talent in their team. It's not just Mitch Creek.
Yeah. They've got a few other things like Dwight Howard's still in their dead cap, and Kenneth Faried, who's just left to the Rockets, is also. But D'Angelo Russell is also playing quite well. Russell D'Angelo.
I think that's what I called it last time.
But yeah, apart from that, that's about kind of it with coming up on the All-Star.
We can talk about the AD drama, which is, I think, in my mind, what's creating some of the bad publicity around the NBA at the moment. Just, little man's going nuts.
Going off. Yeah, it's good.
Little man's going off in the background. Just to say I went out and killed the franchise, because that's essentially. And now they're just like, all right, everyone's gone. We're having a fire sale.
Yeah.
Mirotic is linked to the Sixers. Drew Holiday's being shopped. It's just like, you're just going to tank now because he's gone. I think you've got a good enough team is just accumulate a few picks and maybe get someone in the middle. And, I think there's at least good enough to beat, the Suns or Memphis, maybe. I don't know.
It's kind of like for the amount of publicity it's getting, it's kind of one of the least interesting sagas I've seen. Like, it's all playing out in real time in public. Yeah. And I've never been one that like follows every little thing. Oh, Anthony Davis drove in a car over here and he's definitely going to this team. Like, I don't find that interesting. I prefer more to go, he left and he went to another franchise, and let's read about what happened. But people follow this thing like day to day, inch to inch. Anthony Davis just had a celery juice, everyone. And you're like, he could be going to Boston. Like,
why does he not shave his unibrow? I don't understand that.
That's part of his thing.
Yeah, but it's not. It's, you look like a retard. Shave the brow. I know you call the brow. But that's... Surely some woman is just going to go, get rid of that fucking thing. Like, what are you doing?
That's who he is, man. He's the brow.
He's only the brow. Yeah, it's ugly.
But the other thing too, man, I'm not 100% sure how good he really is. Like,
I don't think he's as good as people's... Because when he comes up against Embiid, and we all know what Embiid's like, he gets absolutely trounced by what Embiid could bring to the game. And Embiid doesn't spread the floor like Anthony Davis does. And it seems like... All right, you're on the court. You got to the finals last year, then you got trounced by Golden State. So you're obviously not a franchise player like LeBron, right? So are you just a second piece to a puzzle? If you want to go to somewhere, do you want to go to the Knicks and just, everyone in New York love you? I don't understand the whole concept of, I want a legacy. I want out of New Orleans.
Yeah, and I think... The wider fan bases and the NBA following in general gets too close to these players. Yeah. That they follow them day to day and movement to movement, inch to inch. And he wants to move for his own basketball career. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't, if you want to do that, that's all about this day and age as NBA is all about wanting to play with the people you want to play with, because at the end of the day, you only get 12 to 15 years. If that. To do that. So fair enough on that case, but I don't know if like the way the NBA is going, I'm not sure if he's good enough to plug into one of these teams and play with another player. Like he's almost where his game is at, he's almost got to be a supplementary force in a team rather than he's the main guy. I just don't know if it's like he would do that at the Pelicans then, or they would have built that team around him. But I'm not. He's had some injury issues. He's definitely in like a top tier talent in the league. Yes, but I just really basing your franchise around this and making concrete moves as a business and a franchise. Just not sure, man. I'm not 100% convinced that if he did go to the Lakers, it'd just be that's a dangerous team now. It's kind of like, it'd just be Anthony Davis, LeBron, and
a whole bunch of nobodies.
Some other people.
Lance Stevenson playing air guitar. That's about it.
Strumming up the court. I think it was one of the announcers when he was hitting threes in the Warriors game. They go, look at Lance Stevenson strumming his way up court. Funny, dude. But yeah, I'm not sure, man. It's just not interesting to me. It really isn't the really in your face like stuff like this. Yeah, it's his agent makes a call. There's 3 franchises that want him. Where's he gonna go? What's he gonna do? I don't plug into the wider league like that.
I do know. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get on to some
games. Cleveland at the Bulls, and Cleveland surging.
They won.
Surging.
Won. Delhi and Deng.
He played really well, actually. Delhi played really well in this game.
He's been playing good in certain situations. He seems to plug in quite well with Chetty Osman, which is nice. He had 16 points, 5 of 9 from the field, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, plus 10 on the night. Deng Adele, 45-day contract, 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 block.
Yeah, he got a block. I didn't check who that was on, but I think he's fitting that team well. At the moment, he's just trying to look to fit in, and he's doing a lot of standing in the corner.
He's waiting for his time.
And that's understandable, like trying to work your way on that franchise. That franchise has got like 3 dedicated ball handlers in kind of Burks, Hood.
Well, they are trying to get rid of. This is the other thing as well. They are trying to get rid of Burks. That's the other rumor I've heard is that they're just essentially selling up shop and
it's
getting the G League involved.
It's kind of a mess though. Like it's got a bunch of good players that don't fit together. Like they're good players, but they don't fit together in this roster. Like it's a bunch of players that are too good to be a mixture, like in the mixture of a team, yet at the same time they're good players. Like,
well, they're all kind of just like they're like B grade role players that would be great if there was 2 guys running shit, but they just can't run shit together. Yeah,
it's kind of like your Clarkson, who I think he's leaving, or you said he left.
He's off to.
Like he's a plug-in scorer, and like Burks is a plug-in scorer.
They're not. You're like Delhi's good. He's kind of like, all right, yeah, you can run things. I think Colin Sexton's kind of gone a bit quiet as well and a bit undersized maybe.
But it's understandable that it's his first year. So it's a lot to shoulder, like with Kevin Love out, and then Tristan Thompson's been in and out of the team. Larry Nance has been in and out of the team, like Zizic. I always get those two mixed up. Like he's their only big, and it's kind of like he's quite young and raw. It's just
it's in full tank. It's what Philly was 3 years ago. It's full tank mode activated, and there's no much more to say about that. But it's a good win. Good to see the taking over the crappy Bulls.
Yeah, I think they've got a few wins in them. I think because it's the bottom 3 now get the same lottery odds. I believe the same lottery percentages. So you don't have to be the absolute stone cold worst team in the league anymore. Look,
if the young guys pull out a win here and there, I think they'll be pretty happy with that, and that'll give the fans something to hope for and watch and get excited about. We'll move on to the next game.
Bucks OKC, they lost.
Paul George.
Paul George destroyed Giannis.
He's having a good year, isn't he?
Yeah.
Giannis has gone a little bit quiet.
Is it ominous?
It's not ominous because they're still winning. And still winning quite well. They beat Toronto, I think, later in this. They beat Toronto quite easily. That was with Kawhi. So they're still winning. They've got the best win-loss record in the league. They've got so many good pieces around them. I think the team is kind of complete. When Ersan Ilyasova is struggling to break in with minutes, then you're kind of like, well, I mean, how's Thon going to break into this team when Ilyasova, who is a spread the floor, catch and shoot, defense master, like he can't even break in.
Yeah.
So, that's one thing to say, but we can say no Thon, no party. Bit of a chunk to OKC.
Paul George kind of destroyed Giannis in that game, but I think he blocked him 3 times and then hit the go-ahead bucket at the end over him. It's kind of like scary, man. It's like, geez, if Paul George can do this in the playoffs.
If Russell Westbrook actually gets his shot going this year, OKC will win.
Yeah, they've got a good team. I still can't believe Terrence Ferguson was in the NBL 2 years ago.
And was crap.
Yeah, and Torrey Craig, who just destroyed Harden with Denver.
Yeah.
Like, he was in the NBL as well.
And it was crap.
Yeah, it's weird. It's so bizarre. But, it is what it is, man. The sky's the limit, and if you work hard, you can get anywhere. Moving on to the Mavs at the Raptors. Brian Brokoff got a garbage time 3. That's about it, really.
Yes, 1 assist in 0 minutes, I believe. But, yes, Brokoff will get more game time out of this trade.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
We'll go through the trade when we go through Mavs and Knicks. So we'll move on to Utah and the Timberwolves. It's good to see Utah winning some more games. Still, Utah 125 to 111. Timberwolves are just a mess as well, man.
Andrew Wiggins is turd. Did you see Doris Burke just fucking hammer him?
Nah.
She's just like, Andrew Wiggins, you need to get the ball. You are a ball handler. Stop standing there. I was like, yeah, you go, Doris Burke. You give it to it.
I love Doris.
Earn your $25 million a season.
Yeah.
She's not like, okay, I got a big thing about female announcers. A lot of the time, they're just kind of like, you learnt this because someone said, oh, you're pretty. You can fit into this sports role and you have to learn. Where Doris Burke is sport.
She played college ball.
She is the sport. She's such a good announcer.
She's awesome. But yeah, and then Covington I think is coming back soon. But still, their team is a mess. Like it's.
Jared Bayless is just like hammering out triple doubles and double doubles. It's like, oh, good on you, dude. Like you never did that for Philly.
Yeah, but he never got game time. He kind of got relegated.
Because he was turd. Even when I was watching them in the chunk season, he was turd
by his own fans. That was hilarious. Joe Ingles 36 minutes, 15 points, 5 of 11, 2 of 6 from 3. 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, plus 13. He played well again. He's just quietly chugging along.
Yes, and they're in at the moment. The Jazz and the Grizzlies are talking straight swap Conley for Rubio.
Oh, wow. That'd be pretty interesting. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that really does anything because they're just like, he's both kind of the same player.
Yeah, but Conley could shoot better than...
Yeah, I mean, Rubio's not that bad.
But he's not 14 shots a game good.
Yeah,
where
I suppose
shoot more Rubio.
But I mean, Mitchell's your clutch guy now. He's your franchise. You don't need Conley. Because Conley's also like a franchise clutch guy.
And it's kind of been when Rubio, Neto, and even Exum have been out.
Yeah.
Fits and starts. That's when they've
Conley's
kind of made their run.
Injured as well. And it's just like,
look, I think Conley's probably a better all-round point guard than Rubio.
Yes.
Because he can shoot the ball. And, like, you don't... Like, when Rubio shoots the ball, you just go, no. And if he makes it, you go, yes. Nice work, Rubio. Nice. But I don't think... He shoots, like, 12 a game, man. And it's like, no, too many shots, Rubio. Give the ball to other people. Stop it. So, why not? Dante Exum obviously still injured. I think he's going to be evaluated during All-Star break, I heard today. It was a foot injury, I believe. It was a rolled ankle.
Yes.
Rudy Gobert's even looking a lot better now for the Jazz.
Yeah.
But I think Joe Ingles is getting a bit more credit and a bit more recognition now.
For his actual role in this bit of Jazz resurgence that have seen them kind of creep into the top 8 and put a good stretch between kind of the Lakers and the Kings. They're up there with Houston, but they also chunked to Houston later in this podcast.
Yeah.
We can move on to the Wiz and the Spurs. Good win for the Spurs. Again, started sniping. Paddy's been on fire of late. 15 points, 7 assists, 2 steals. LaMarcus, 30 points, 9 rebounds and 6 assists.
He was unbelievable in this game.
Yeah.
It's hard. Sometimes he's hard to watch, man. But the speed at which he operates and the way his game translates, like that mid-range game, the post game, I think Embiid's probably the only one with the ability, the same kind of ability. But Embiid's just quicker, stronger, more powerful, and I think not necessarily smarter all the time, but I think he makes some smarter moves. But part of that is having Ben Simmons and that sort of cast around him. It's a little bit better than the Spurs. DeMar DeRozan still had a knee problem. He's still been out. I think he's still out now. Bryn Forbes played pretty well, 16 points. Bertans again, 21 points. He's just knocking down threes.
Davis Bertans.
But yeah, the Wizards are just,
just awful.
Struggling.
But that's all right. They're crap. Let's move on.
Yeah. Nets Celtics. This was a really good game too.
Meaningful Mitch Creek minutes. Yeah, it was a good game. The Nets are a good team. They just seem to be in a little bit of a lull at the moment, but I think they'll be there come finals times. Mitch Creek got 6 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, plus 6 on the night in a loss, which is great. Bainesy, 16 points.
Yeah, he played really well in this
40%
game.
from 3, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks.
He had foul trouble as well in this game.
Jesus.
He had 5 fouls. It was great to see Mitch Creek, his first bucket basically in the NBA from the field was...
Over Baines.
Yeah, it was over Baines. So true Aussie on Aussie crime. What a way to start your thing. But it was a late shot clock too, and he had the poise to shot fake drive. Like he did Jaylen Brown dirty with his shot fake, drove and scored over. Like that's a move that'll get you noticed as a player. It's not...
Yeah.
He just knocked down a shot. How good's that? It's, oh wow, he put the ball on the floor, a late shot clock execution, good. Like that's a sign of a really high sort of IQ player. What
definitely.
Was
that was just the computer going
I thought that was me speaking. And
it was
feedback.
just replying to someone who commented on the
nice
podcast.
One. Thanks for commenting. Good stuff. Good to see you. Good to see people here. Don't forget we're streaming live. The sound's probably not as good as you'll get it through the
podcast, which
system.
You can find us on all good podcasting networks.
Yes.
iTunes, SoundCloud, whatever you want. Well, we always put up on YouTube if you can't get to anything and you want to listen on your computer.
Yep.
D'Angelo Russell, 25 points. Shabazz Napier, 20.
Yeah, he's been pretty good for them, Shabazz. Yeah. Like, in a second string sort of point guard role. He was a Portland, I think, last year, and I remember just sitting there thinking, who's going to want this guy? Like, he's undersized, not that good, but at Brooklyn, he's been doing really good, which is good to see.
Should we move on to
16 block shots in this game.
Really?
It was, I think, Boston's best ever.
Jesus.
Move on to Wizards. Cavs. The Cavs flying, absolutely flying. 2 in a row, I believe this was.
Yeah, wow.
Delhi, 18 minutes, 10 points, 3 of 6, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And then Deng Adele didn't score any points, took 2 shots, got a rebound and an assist.
Finding his feet, I would say.
Yeah, but he's not going to get a lot of options on the ball.
No.
You know what I mean? They've already got Osman, at the time, Clarkson and Rodney Hood holds the ball. Delhi runs a pretty conventional point. His role at the moment looks like stand in the corner and knock down shots, which...
Yeah.
That's someone still finding their feet.
And that's not really him as well. He's not kind of a spread the floor shooter. He's the kind of guy that needs a ball in hand. He gets the rim, puts the ball on the floor, gets to the hoop.
He's a good cutter if you give him the
if you give him the feed. But feed him.
There's a stat Delhi always finds Clarkson running baseline. So I wonder with Clarkson not there, Deng Adele's got to get on that baseline cut and try and make that when those two are on the floor, which will give it another dimension. Yeah, Zizic, 12 points, 12 rebounds. Nance, 13 points, 11 rebounds. Pretty good win over Washington, who you would expect
to beat them quite easily.
Good to see, Cavs. So surging. What are they? At the moment, they're 11 and 42, flying. That's good stuff. It's good to see. Bucks, Pistons. Still no Thon. I don't think we're going to see Thon, man. It sucks.
It is.
It really does suck, man. And I think he just went off too early.
Should have just waited till AllStar break, had a quiet word, see what the plans were for the postseason, because that's where his time's going to shine when you're coming up against gritty teams like the Celtics or even Philly when you need length. Him and Jonah are pretty much the identical twins of each other, cancelling each other out. He's a good 3-and-D player. So anyway, that's okay. But all I can say is fuck Blake Griffin. No one likes him.
This was the game where they were like, did you see Reggie Jackson or one of them were just
passing it back. Yeah.
And then I think was it an 8-second violation or something for backing down or something like that?
I don't know.
Something happened.
I think the shot clock
maybe shot clock expired or something, because I only saw the meme version of it. Oh man, that was funny. It's hard to watch him.
Yeah.
We move on to Suns at Spurs, and the Spurs squeaked past the Suns in this game.
Jesus.
126, 124. Devin Booker, man, was just lighting it up. It's tough. Paddy, 27 minutes, 12 points, 4 of 9, 4 of 8 from 3. That's not too bad.
Yep.
4 rebounds, 5 assists, and
1
a steal.
steal.
And then Rudy Gay hit the game winner. That was a good game winner for Rudy Gay too.
Yes, I did see that. The Spurs finished with 7 players in double figures. Every starter, Davis Bertans, 18 points, and Bellinelli, 17 off the bench. The Suns, I think they're missing DeAndre Ayton. He's out for a bit. No big man. Not really going to kind of do anything against LaMarcus. They've got a couple of guys they've got to get rid of. I don't know what they do. I mean, they've got Devin Booker. You've got DeAndre Ayton, who I think is actually a decent center and almost Embiid-like in his ability to play the mid-range back down. Not a kind of a very good rim protector. That's something he needs to work on. But I don't really know what they do to get any better. Like, what do you have to do? Just start accumulating more picks?
Yeah, be bad for a while.
Yeah.
Because I think the only place he can play Devin Booker is at that sort of point guard, like the 0.2 guard role, basically.
Yeah.
And it's another level of that gimmick where the point guard isn't the point guard. He's another guy.
Yeah.
And his only real effectiveness comes from holding the ball a lot. And who's going to want to play in that sort of system?
Yeah.
Like, you don't really want to do that. And I think these half and half teams we're seeing where they're almost a team that works, but at the same time, like kind of Dallas is a little bit like that in some respects.
It's just, it'd be interesting seeing after they blew up the team what actually happens next.
But everyone keeps going. They need a point guard, man. Like any point guards out there need to look at Phoenix as a destination. Go to Phoenix, and I'm just like, who would want to go and play with Devin Booker? Like
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah,
he
does he really want to?
He does. Yes, that's
just
because he's not a shooter, so you could play that off ball guard kind of.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
Suns.
The Suns.
Philly Lakers. This was a good game actually.
This was a hilarious game. It was just turnover city for the first 20 minutes, and then Lakers came out to play, and then Philly just put them to sleep.
Yeah, at the end.
Simmons had 19 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block. No Bolden this time. Embiid had another double, 28 points, 11 rebounds.
They don't really have an answer for Embiid, do they, Lakers?
No, I think this is it was after this game or the Golden State where everyone tried to bash Luke Walton.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it was Golden State. Actually,
it
was Michael Beasley and
JaVale and a bunch of other guys.
Yeah,
got
heated
yeah.
Like no,
sucks,
you're
man.
just shit players.
I like Luke Walton too.
It's not. It's like
it's kind of like Alvin Gentry's really the problem at New Orleans, but I like Alvin Gentry. I'm like, no, he's not the problem. He's not the problem, but he really kind of is, and not a great coach. But I like him as a good coach. But the Lakers, it's just who knows what's going to happen with them, man.
Look, without LeBron. I mean, Brandon, the two-man game, McGee and Ingram were playing, was great. I mean, Ingram played well, just straight off the curl into the top of the key and just jump shot. They kind of missed Kyle Kuzma this game as well, giving them that extra sprint. Butler was good. But yeah, like they just had no answer for Redick. They had really no answer for anyone on the team.
Yeah, their perimeter defense is not great. Again, it highlights, like I'm going through all these teams in my head just trying to think who is an answer for Embiid. Like not many of these teams have that
Boogie Cousins, if he can play 40 minutes.
Fitness, man.
Right, he doesn't. He's got like 10 minutes in him of guarding Embiid. But he does have the answer, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's a smart enough player, but he's just not fit, and he's never going to be that fit.
He gets a bit volatile too, like inside his own head. I feel like matchups on Embiid where Embiid can have a laugh out of the like the other guy getting upset, and he can get into
is probably a guy that gets into Embiid's head a little bit.
Yeah, probably doesn't have the power of Embiid, but I just look at Embiid and just go, it's a different player. Like it really is. Like he kind of stands tall above a guy like McGee.
Yeah,
like you can see the difference in those two players.
He will be the first center since Shaq to win an MVP.
I think so. I think he's got it in the next couple of years.
Yeah,
it's unique, man. It really is unique. Like you go through, like AD's not a 7-footer. I think he's 6'11", is he?
No, he's 7 foot.
7 foot.
I think
he's
probably
probably
7'1",
close.
7'2".
But the power, man, and the mass of the guy. Yet he's quick and has moves and has that step
and chase down defense as well.
It's crazy, and he just doesn't look like it's capable. Yet you watch him play and you just go, man, he moves like so swiftly and with such ease,
such grace. Simmons has been playing so well lately as well. Against the Golden State, when we go to Golden State, that's his best game of his career by about a country mile. Just destroyed Draymond Green, destroyed Iguodala. And
Iggy actually struggled against him.
Yeah, it's just you just see what he potentially like. There was a bit of potential in that game of what you do see with a guy who can't shoot and still take Golden State to town. So that was quite nice. Next game, Hornets at Boston. Good win for the Celtics. Baines had 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Didn't play too much. Jaylen Brown getting back to some of the old Jaylen Brown we know. 24 points, 10 rebounds. Tatum had 20. No Kyrie. Scary Terry, 17. I mean, the Hornets, if Kemba doesn't score 40, is just turd. So we can move on.
Well, let's talk about the Celtics for just a second. Do you feel like a lot of the negative stuff that comes out, like it's directly targeted at their franchise? Yet you see some of these things where Kyrie goes down and guys step up and have 24-point games and they play quite well, and like it feels like everyone's just negatively attacking them all the time. Hayward's crap, and then you're rubbish without Kyrie Irving, and Jason Tatum looks like he's upset, doesn't want to play. Brown doesn't look like he wants to play either. Like Terry Rozier's upset. Yep, they just chug along, man.
Yeah,
I think it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is weird, but I think what the issues that they were having versus what they are now is that they could still go into next year, lose Kyrie Irving, and be top 3 team and just keep their assets.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the fact that in the report, it's just like, oh, AD wants to come. All right, everyone's open except Kyrie. It's like,
that's kind of weird too.
That's stupid. I'd swap him for Kyrie. Do a direct trade, or Hayward, throw him in, get some cap space. You got picks. Like Boston still has more picks.
Yeah, they've got heaps of different things to throw around.
You got your young talent in there, like Jaylen Brown. You know, I would probably try and get a good center in the next year, because Baines and Horford are 34 each. They're not going to be there forever. It's quite a taxing position. So,
but yeah, it still feels like everyone gets really it gets on the Celtics.
Yeah,
like the heavy crown to bear, but they're just quietly chugging along. What are they sitting? 5th, so it's tied 4th, really 5th in the East.
Yeah,
I think they're going to overtake Indiana, and sort of sit in that spot just behind those 3: Philly, Toronto, and the Bucks. I guess we can move on to the Mavs and the Knicks. And just after this game, obviously broke off. He had 5 minutes of garbage time and a rebound and an assist. But yeah, the trade broke. Kristaps Porzingis to the Dallas Mavericks. For the Knicks received Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, Wesley Matthews, and a future first-round draft pick from the Mavericks.
2 future.
Was it 2, was it?
2.
And 2 future, yeah, it is 2.
So Courtney Lee, who they'll probably release. Tim Hardaway Jr., serviceable shooting guard. I'd keep him. I'm happy with that.
Kind of guy.
Trey Burke, release. Yeah. And obviously Kristaps Porzingis.
Who, unknown still, man. That's the big thing.
Yeah, but he could be like Lauri Markkanen, who is... you'd have in your team any day of the week at 4. But yeah, I think Kristaps,
it's definitely a better piece to build around than DeAndre Jordan, really.
Yeah, well, DeAndre Jordan isn't a piece to put around. He was that stopgap guy, and they're like, okay, now we can just move him on. That was nice, and he'll get released, or he'll get bought out.
Yeah, and go somewhere. But this was this was probably more interesting than the Anthony Davis trade.
Yes.
Just because of how quick it happened. It came out of nowhere.
And it was just like, it was 15 minutes later, like Kristaps, the news break that Kristaps was like, oh, why are you guys tanking? Like, come on, like, let's actually not seem like we're tanking. All right, you're gone. See ya.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. You're gone.
Which is, man, good.
And obviously they'd been thinking about it for a while, because this kind of stuff doesn't happen in 15 minutes. So it was just kind of, I think, as a consequence, like, oh, we'll announce it now. See y'all.
Yeah, bye-bye. But some of these, like, if you're a franchise player on the Knicks and you don't really have a way out, I kind of feel like, oh, good. Like, lucky for Porzingis, he doesn't have to rot away on the Knicks, because
Dallas is just building a Euro team.
Yeah, it's good. Like Nowitzki, Porzingis, and Doncic. I'm really interested to see Doncic. I don't know how Porzingis is going to be, man. Could be awful, and I don't know. But yeah, losing Dennis Smith Jr. is not the end of the world. And DeAndre Jordan looked like he didn't care at all, which was kind of weird.
Looked like he was just there for his $20 million paycheck.
The other thing too, they could have had Dennis Smith Jr., New York Knicks.
I know, it's just like...
they drafted Ntilikina, and Donovan Mitchell at 12 was in the same draft. They could have had Donovan Mitchell as well.
Yeah.
And then trading your franchise player for cap space is kind of weird too.
Yeah, I think they're trying to woo someone, but I don't think anyone's going there, to be honest.
A lot of people are saying, like, this is what they did to get into this situation now. This is kind of what they did. It was where they cleared the boards and went, like, who wants to come? And nobody came, and it was like, shit. And now, like, they could very easily turn into, like, Boogie Cousins and Jimmy Butler. You know what I mean? And then you're just like, whoa, that was a fucking swing and a miss again. Like, shit. Like, you never know. Like, KD and Kyrie might not want to go there. All signs are kind of pointing to you wouldn't be doing this unless
you knew.
But the Knicks, man, Knicks are gonna Knicks. Like, fuck. Like,
is KD really that player?
I don't think so. He's getting a bit older too. He is really. He's a once in a generation scorer. And if I was him, why would you leave the Warriors, man?
Yeah.
Like, Clay and Curry still have 2 or 3 more years, and Draymond Green, like, you'd stay there for another few years and then go, like, all right, I'm done. We're all done here. Like, let's.
Well, because when does Clay go up for the max next season?
I think end of next year.
So,
and he wants it too, and he wants to stay apparently. So, but even that's getting into like this crazy repeat attacks realm where technically they could kind of keep the team together.
We just get rid of Iggy. Iggy's
one of them, and then Livingston. But then you're just getting 4 guys and trash, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's a gamble because they're repeating
second round draft picks. That's what you're doing. mate, we've got tons of Aussies in the NBL here. Come pick them up.
Yeah.
Warriors, it's just like 4 guys and all NBL roster.
That'd be heaps good, man. Like Brian Bowen Jr. and some other stuff like that. But their tax, I think, is like 330 million or something. Like they're paying crazy amounts of tax. But if they win, they get it paid. The windfall is like 700 or 800 million anyway.
So it doesn't matter.
You've got to win. Like if you don't win, then suddenly I think the owner will start going, yeah, let's not do this anymore. Like let's actually make some moves to fix the franchise. But as long as they're winning, that's good for them. But I don't know, man. Who knows? KD's KD. Kyrie's Kyrie. Who the fuck knows what they're going to do?
Yeah.
This far out too. Like it's crazy. Like, when you really think about it.
Do you really want to move away from Steph Curry? Probably the best player.
Everyone seems to kind of forgotten his whole snake legacy too. Like now that AD's had this, Anthony Davis has got this where he's asked for a trade. That's kind of worse than leaving in free agency.
Yeah.
It's kind of worse just being like, I'm out like before the All-Star break on the year that you can be traded. I think he's up next year, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of worse, man, to just be like, oh, well, shit, take it easy, I'm out. Like, it's kind of worse than what KD did. Anyway, then let's move on. Jazz Portland, they got thumped in this game, man.
They did.
Smashed. Joe Ingles, 27 minutes, 14 points, 3 of 5, 2 of 4 from the field, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. He was getting the free throw line. These are the kind of games, like Damian Lillard has been playing really
Portland
well,
are a good team. I said this from the beginning of the year. They're a great team. They will go far. I think they're probably not going to be the best team. I think on their night, I don't think they played particularly well away from home against good teams. But we'll see what the postseason brings in their depth. But I think Jokic is having a big season. Myers Leonard's playing well. They've got McCollum who goes on. Lillard,
they're kind of they're always there, always hanging around type team.
They're just under the All-Star team. Just under. We'll go to Mavs and Pistons, and they chunked to the Pistons.
Yeah, I think this was the game actually with the toss back and forth. Broke off 27 minutes though in this game. This was just after the trade, so the roster was kind of, the cupboards were bare and they had to pretty much broke off.
Yeah.
27 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 5. He shot 1 of 2 from 3 rebounds, assist. He had some foul trouble, but which was probably a problem for them. They didn't really have an answer for Drummond. 24 points, 20 rebounds. Crazy. Missing their players. Griffin had 24 points. Yeah, that's kind of cool, Blake. Nice work.
You're still not an all-star. Fuck off.
Jeez, that's a bit harsh.
I actually don't mind the guy on a personal level. His style of basketball just pisses me off to no extent.
I was talking to someone...
and we start off the 3-point line, and there goes his ass. His ass is moving towards the basket.
It's just... He should just always walk backwards. He just should get a surgery to turn his legs around so he's always moving backwards. But I was just thinking, like, what does Casey think? Like, Dwayne Casey's a pretty well-known and well-established coach.
He just has he has nothing. Yeah, what else does he have?
It's like
he's Andre Drummond. He's just like, yeah, man, I could just grab boards. That's all I do.
You know, and then he doesn't have any guards. Like, they don't have any guards. No. Bullock and Ish Smith. Reggie Jackson. It's kind of just... anyway, let's move. Bucks, Raptors. We could kind of skip over the Bucks at the moment with no Thon.
We could just go into the fact that we can just eat out of the Bucks' hand all day. They are playing very smoothly. This was, I think, the game of the East. Really stamped the authority of the Bucks. Giannis playing really, really well. You know, Chris Middleton getting picked for an All-Star. Just shows you that their team, I think Malcolm Brogdon's probably an all-star in the making somewhere down the track. Probably the most unappreciated shooting guard in the league. I think
so, yeah.
Really good play, puts the ball on the floor. Pat Connaughton's had a bit of a resurgence and playing a little bit better. And again, Ilyasova not playing many. So, yes, we shall move on. And Brooklyn. Yeah. Spurs, good win for the Spurs. Patty, 17 points. 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 2 steals. Derek White scored a career high 26, Aldridge 20, and Brooklyn went from their quite good winning streak to losing a few.
Yeah.
And no Aussie on Aussie crime because Mitch Creek was on the bench for this one.
Yeah, didn't get up for this one. Good cheerleading though. I saw him cheerleading on
Sunday. Yeah, it was like, yes, $135,000 for 10 days work.
Yes. No, it's good. Good to see D'Angelo Russell, 25 points. Look, I like the way the Nets play, man. They're a good team. There's kind of a no fear team.
They're not really jaded, and Jarrett Allen's been blocking everyone.
Yeah.
Which is good. So he's probably a big guy that could give it to Embiid a little bit. Not in the offensive sense, but in the defense. Rattle him a little bit. Had some good big blocks this year.
Again, the power, though.
He's
just keep coming back to, Embiid is like a mass, man, that you can't move. You need someone like Horford maybe or Baines, but then you look at Horford and go, he doesn't he doesn't have the physical tools and the swiftness that Embiid has.
And he's a bit older as well. Just a tad. Just a tad. All right, good win for the Spurs. We'll move on to...
did you see the bat that the first quarter when 3 bats were hovering into the court? What's with San Antonio and bats, man? What the hell?
I don't know.
Did you see when Manu swatted the bat out of the air in that game? Yeah, you'll have to YouTube that after this. Old school Spurs. There was a bat flying around and Manu went up and smacked the bat out of the air and had to carry it off the court.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he whacked it. Knocked it out.
Don't in Australia. Don't pick up bats.
I think he had to go and get shots and stuff.
Yeah, man. They're fucking disease-ridden little shits.
That'd be interesting. As
get lysovirus and rabies over there and stuff like that. Ugh.
Oh, come on, mate.
Oh, what's going on here?
That's unprofessional. Right?
Unprofessional. All right, let's move on to the greatest game of the season.
Should we just skip over this game?
The greatest game of the season. This was potentially the best game of Ben Simmons' career.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
my mind.
Bolden, man, played superb as well.
Well played, sir. Simmons, 26 points. He took Draymond Green to town, and Draymond Green is known for his defensive prowess. Took him to town. Took Iguodala. The amount of shot changes. I think when he was guarding Curry was 0 for 3. When he was guarding KD was 2 of 7.
Yep.
So it just shows you what he did defensively on the night. 6 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, +9. Only 4 turnovers against a really good team in Golden State. I mean, Embiid was just drilling it.
In the third, at the start of the third, where it was just abusing everyone.
It was just abusing Kevon
There's
Looney.
no answer for that.
Well, Boogie was the answer, and Boogie did really well. First quarter was like
just
2 big dudes just fucking going at it. It was great to watch.
This way.
Smash. Embiid, smash.
But he got tired, man, and it's just what you got to deal with.
Yeah, but he's just coming back. He's Boogie.
I don't think he's ever been that fit, really. You know what I mean? I don't think he's got a whole game of going toe-to-toe with Embiid. I think it's really underrated how fit and powerful Embiid really
actually is. Yeah, that's crazy. For a guy that's been that injury prone and plays with bad backs and still dominates.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic to watch because he was really good in this game in that third quarter. He was terrible at the start. I think he had 6 turnovers in the first quarter or something crazy like that. Then he just came to life. He was abusing Looney. He was abusing pretty much everyone. I think the only real hope that the Warriors have ever had is that Draymond and KD... Draymond and Clay
have a good double
smart
team.
Double.
Yeah.
That's it. And then I think once...
But then you just have Redick just prowling around. Redick is like the fish that prowls around the Great White, just waiting to eat what it just drops, shits outside, isn't he? Because he just just see Redick running around Embiid and, and then trying to double team Embiid and get him, and then he just gets open. And it's just crazy. Yeah.
And if you find him, usually if he's set for 3, he's going to hit it. Obviously, no Clay in this game, but no excuses. I think they didn't go to Draymond on Embiid a lot in this game either.
Yeah.
I think the Warriors are a bit of a savvy team where they just go, let's not throw all of our eggs into this basket. Put all our cards on the table. We'll try and let Looney and Boogie guard this guy because Boogie needs the reps.
Yeah.
Looney needs the reps too. Looney's had some success sort of guarding some other guys in different ways. He was just monstered, absolutely destroyed. He played quite well in the first half, but in the second half, Embiid just used his body smartly.
Just got inside.
And that's where Looney's effectiveness goes straight down to almost 0. But yeah, Jonah Bolden, man, a couple of those blocks, he had 2 blocks, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Defensively, he was a monster, man. And I had people going, who's this Jonah Bolden guy? He was fantastic in this game. Wow, where'd they get him from? And I'm like, fucking, he's been heaps good, man.
Yeah.
He's going to be a really good player.
He's going to be a very good player, and shout out to him for getting into the Rising Stars World Team Challenge. Sure. Let's move on to the Celtics and the Knicks.
Good. Enough pain for old Benny. Bainesy had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks, plus 1 on the night. This was a terrible Knicks team, and they were terrible. And the Celtics did this with quite ease. Uncle Drew had 23 and 10, and 6 assists. When the crowd started chanting, "Free Agent Kyrie, free Agent Kyrie." They're just trying to the Knicks crowd. They're just going there to try and get play for our team. Play for our team. Good banter.
All right.
Should we move on? That's a pretty easy win for the Celtics. They're sitting pretty. Hawks and Jazz.
Hawks have been playing all right, actually.
Yeah, they're looking decent, man.
Yeah.
They're looking maybe 2 years away, 2 or 3 years away.
Three. Still haven't got a good center.
Nah, well, that's a big thing that they need to get. Thonmaker's available.
He is. Man, they got a good Humfo. Where's Humfo at?
Yeah, get Humfo up.
Get Humfo up from the G League.
I'm just gonna double check that actually.
Yeah, he's at Erie Bayhawks. Yeah, he is. He's been playing much though. He kind of did that 31-point drubbing, and we do our fans a G League special, but unfortunately everyone left the G League and went to the NBA.
Nobody in the G League anymore.
we got Humfo. We'll just do a Humfo 8-minute podcast special.
And I have sort of been following the Europe stuff.
The old bandwagon.
It gets hard to watch. Matur Maker might be in there next year.
Makur Maker, the 7-foot point guard.
Yeah, where's he playing?
He's playing in Canada. I think he's playing high school. Yeah,
I think he's high school. Yeah. They have two ways filled, Jalen Adams and Alex Poitras. So, where were we talking about the Hawks? And
Hawks Jazz. Jingling Joe, 19 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block to us, 25 on the night.
This is probably a pretty good game for Joe Ingles.
Yeah, Rubio had 22 and 11. Gobert feasted. I mean, Gobert.
They've got no answer. It's men versus boys.
Yeah, man. Against those kind of things.
That Atlanta team, like Alex Len is their main center. It's like
Dwayne Dedman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, that's, good luck. And then Bucks Wizards, I guess we could skip over.
We could kind of skip over the rest of the guys, go to them next time. But
we could. Did you watch Mavs Cavs yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good game. Brian Brokoff, he had 12 points.
He did. He just left him wide open.
Wide open. And it's like, get on him, get up. He just drains it. Nice. And then I'm thinking, all right, somebody's got to get on him. Like, you can't leave him in the corner. He's in the other corner. It's like, what are you doing? Like, far out. Somebody get that guy. Get on him. That was good. All right. I guess we'll skip Bucks Wiz, and then we'll start from New Orleans Spurs
next week
episodes, and then Rockets Jazz.
We do have All-Star break coming up, guys.
Yeah.
So we plan to put out a podcast surrounding overs and unders.
Over and under. We'll have a look. I think I had a look about a week ago, and Brooklyn were like almost at the edge of like knocking me out of one so far. I think they were just on the cusp of being under or over, being over. Like tonight I had under, so that's about the extent that I've looked at it.
It's about the amount he's gotten right on that respect.
That's like my fantasy, where I play fantasy for about 3 weeks and then forget
like,
about it.
I'm shit, I'm out.
Yeah, and I just forget. Like I got an email about it yesterday and just went, oh shit, I forgot we were doing fantasy. Shit. And then I went to look, and I think I was like third last, and I'm like, I'm out. I won't be looking at that again.
I'm gone. See you.
Anyway, thanks for showing up, peeps. Thanks for listening.
Peeps. We always live stream, typically on a Mondays, but we'll be doing more and in the downward run to the NBA Finals.
The playoffs.
But we'll do a special All-Star Weekend episode, obviously, with Simmons and Bolden playing. Simmons playing both games.
Is he?
He's playing both games. He's playing both games. Wow. He'll play reduced minutes in the Rising Stars and play more minutes in the NBA All-Stars. But that's just a feat. And, man, I'm just so pumped for this World Cup this year. If he plays, Australia's just going to have a baller team. Mitch Creek being the 11th NBA player, we essentially have a team like no other that have all NBA players. We've only got 4 spots to fill by non-NBA players.
That's pretty good. And then we've got some the cream of the crop in the NBL.
Bogut.
Yeah, Bogut I think is probably in there. Goulding.
Goulding.
Sobey,
Man, the way Lish has been playing, you'd want Lish in that team as an off-ball guard potentially. We are missing kind of the good power forward position. I think Mitch Creek's probably a little bit undersized against some of what America and Spain can throw against us. So you want potentially a good 4. But Thon, Bolden.
Yeah.
It's endless.
Bolden, man. Oh, he's going to play for Australia. That'll be great, I think.
Yes.
I think he's probably that 6'10", 6'11".
Well, he's a kid to follow. Josh Green.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. And
pretty good.
Even
McDonald's.
Jack White's playing for Duke at the moment with like RJ Barrett and all those guys. Yeah,
he's probably just getting overshadowed by Zion bouncing around like a kangaroo.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Josh Green made McDonald's All-American, ranked 9th.
That's pretty good.
Going into next year playing Arizona, they reckon he's going to be one and done and drafted top 10 in the NBA.
Oh, another one.
We need a shooting guard. He's an off-ball shooting guard.
Yeah, beautiful.
So that's good. 6'6", good size. Thanks, guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like us on Facebook.
Yep.
Like us now, right now.
Yeah,
like
right
us.
now, down here.
Like us. Like our page. And you can find us on the SoundCloud, iTunes, all those good podcasting apps. We will be back next week, and we will see you then.
See you, peeps.
Bye.